Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, I'm red in the face. I didn't realise I'd caught the sun that much yesterday, but I have on the face and my face is burning red. I woke up, I feel really worn out, tired, sore. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 7:22 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Monday the 23rd of May.
Alexa, the weather in Rochester.
Right now in Rochester, it's 13 degrees Celsius with rain. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 16 degrees and a low of 8 degrees.
Basically, it's wet and damp out there, and I feel like I'm burning and on fire, and I've got to take Max out for a walk, but I'm going to have to put trousers on and a coat, and I feel like I'm burning up and I'm on fire. Right, I'm just going to drink my Actimel. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
I recently started to learn about the history of chessboards. It seems they have quite the checkered past.
Pathetic. Alexa, thought of the day.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, what's today's thought of the day?
Here is your thought for May 23rd, from Steve Jobs. Those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world usually do.
Well, that's a good thing to know, that is. So I'm not the only one that's crazy then. Right. Yesterday. Let's go back and start from the beginning, the way that I write it all up in my diary, which I'm going to do later on. I got up, got in a car, and we drove towards Stone Bay, stopping off at a petrol station on the way to fill up the tank, which, as you know, the petrol is dearer than it normally is and ever has been, and it doesn't last very long. A van drove up beside our car. A van drove up beside the car, and a little man got out, and when I mean a little man, he was a dwarf, and he had a Jack Jones top on like my neighbour upstairs, so it's a little dwarf with a Jack Jones t-shirt, and he got out of the van and he went into the petrol station. In the driver's seat there was another little dwarf. They were identical twin dwarfs, both alike, both men, both looking like the man upstairs, but midgets, and one had a Jack Jones top. Various other odd characters went into the garage. A very thin gentleman, like one of my sons with glasses. There was a man that got out of the car that looked like my dad, who's recently passed away, with like a handlebar moustache and a big stomach and grey long hair. So the Jack Jones guy came out with a Costa coffee, got into his van, drove off. Not long afterwards we drove off. The M2 was closed going down there. The M2 was shut. So we had to go around the rural route to Broadstairs. There was no accidents, no collisions. It was a smooth journey. At first, before we actually left, went into Tesco's to get a towel, because I'd not got my towel from the flat, so we got a towel from Tesco's, a tuna and cucumber sandwich, 2 eggs for protein, and a bottle of mineral water. So we had our supplies as we was on the road and for the beach, because Stone Bay had no shops whatsoever, coffee, no shops to get anything in. No souvenirs, no postcards, no nothing. Because that is not the main part of Broadstairs. In the main part of Broadstairs there's a massive home base, there's a Tesco, there's a McDonald's. But in Stone Bay there was absolutely no shops at all. The one good thing about it was that it had male and female toilets, which I used twice, the ladies. And it had a sandy beach and it was a nice seaside, but apart from sunbathing, there's not a lot you can do, and obviously if it's hot you're going to sea. So we parked on the front of Stone Bay near the toilet facilities. You walk down some stairs, halfway down these toilets, you go further down, it's very, very attractive. There's a warning sign, beware of falling rocks, because part of it falls down if you're not careful. It's full of kids, full of families. It wasn't empty, so I can't be that hideous. There was loads of people there. Now, I had an altercation with someone online, as everybody knows, and he was Australian. And I tried to make up with this guy, and I used my Facebook to message the so-called Australian guy to try and make up with him. And he called me Marshall. He didn't call me Crystal, he didn't call me Ginestra, he didn't call me a woman. He called me Marshall. He said, Marshall, you're just like da-da-da-da-da-da, and he named 5 other people and said I was part of it, and I don't know what he was talking about, and I was threatened. And a certain other person had a death threat from this guy, and involved me in it. This guy involved me in it as well, and I didn't know what he was talking about, because I didn't even know this character in 2015. I started following this Australian guy in 2019. Right? So why I'm bringing that up into it was on the beach there was a young lad called Marshall, and they all looked like they were in Australia on surfboards. There was 4 or 5 kids with a massive long surfboard sitting on it with a girl paddling them across the water. So where I was sat, 3 or 4 kids came along and were going, Marshall, Marshall, come on Marshall. And Marshall was a little boy, a male. Right? So this Australian guy called me Marshall when he was bullying me. So I sat down in the sun, led back, and I've got a bit red in the face. And like I said, there was nothing else to do but lay in the sun and relax. I didn't take a phone, I didn't take photographs. Somebody else has taken photographs of me at Stone Bay, and when I get them back I will put them on my post. Pictures of me at this Stone Bay in the hot beaming sun at midday. I said I enjoyed it, I did. I got to relax. It wasn't nasty, it was quite peaceful and relaxing. But it felt like I was in Australia on the beach with people surfboarding in the sea. And every so often someone going past us, Marshall, Marshall. And there was kids absolutely everywhere, little kiddies. Some of them with parents, some of them on their own. Running across the rocks, running in the sea, and the sea stank. It stank of rotten fish. It smelt. I haven't been able to have a shower. I didn't have one yesterday. The person I went with did. I didn't have time to have a shower, and I just certainly don't feel like one before I'm going to bed. So when I've taken Max for a walk this morning, I'm going to have a shower. The sea stank of dead fish. And there were kids swimming in it, putting their hair in it. There was a man that got on a surfboard and he fell over into the sea. Then he got on the surfboard and he fell over again. And he got all his hair and his mouth and nose stuck in the stinky fish sea. It smelled rotten. And there was seagulls eating dead fish across the beach. Big birds swooping down and eating fish corpses. It really smelt of rotten fish. And I've got bad sinuses. And it was making my eyes sting, my eyes water, and it smelled so bad. So when somebody, you think because somebody lives in Australia, they can't get to you, they can. Especially if they've got relatives in the United Kingdom and they've spread it about a total load of bollocks and lies that isn't true. And is this why I'm getting trouble? One of my exes has got friends in Australia. You don't believe someone till you've proved that it's true. I didn't know this guy until 2019. He wrote me up with somebody else, and then he threatened me. And now someone's going around saying I bullied him. And now my worry is he's back online and I'm going to start getting attacked. Because of what? I've done nothing to the guy. Nothing at all. I'm going to go and take Max out for a walk. I will not be intimidated. I have told you. If something happens to me outside or someone attacks my dog, I will ring the relevant authorities. And I'm going to get on with my day. I'm going to have my coffee and I'll see you all later.